Hey guys, welcome back to Quick Notes with Chris on. Today we're going to be talking about how the universe is calling you by Char Margolis. It's a book. It's a very spiritual orientated book. So if you're a person who's much more in sort of contact with the spiritual world, maybe more meditation orientated rather than just specific success principles, then I definitely think this is a book that you should read. And if you're an individual that's highly orientated towards more logical sounding in terms of success principles, then I think that maybe you should open up, because that's a person like myself. There are definitely aspects that this book talks about that I highly suggest that you can apply towards your life that will certainly impede on creating you a closer goal towards becoming successful, especially even if you break it down logically. So the book has a clear sort of law of attraction focus. It utilizes terms like essence and certain jargon that I'll try to break down my best. But my understanding is that essence is the universe, it's calling, and it is what manifests your dreams. Whatever it is that you look towards achieving in life, essence is the thing that helps achieve it. And that's the fundamental part of your book. So it's about tapping into that essence through prayer, through thoughts, through active thinking in order to get the things that you want most out of life. So you want to create a clear focus for your request and prepare to tune in. Basically, essence is, think of it like the spiritual deity that is going to give you the thing that you want most, but only if you make it seem as if it's truly something that you want most. So making your clear focus. So obviously, clarity towards any goal is super important. When it's very hard and difficult to hit the target if you don't know exactly what it is you're aiming for. So I always talk about making your goals as specific as possible. Of course, everybody wants to make $1 million. That's a pretty, most people no-brainer. But what is your process towards achieving it? Are you going to look towards starting a business? Are you going to look towards becoming a professional in this aspect? Are you going to develop this skill set? Are you going to look towards working here? Whatever it is, have a series of events that is planned out towards it. For example, when it comes to health goals, of course you're going to basically be like, oh, my goal weight is going to be 95 kilograms of muscle. I'm cutting this season, so I want to be able to hit this goal, I want to be able to hit this goal, I want to hit this goal. When your goal has clarity and you know exactly what it is that you're looking towards achieving, it's much more simpler to develop a plan in order to achieve it. When you're looking towards setting up workout plans and stuff like that, you have certain workouts that you need to go. You need to go to the gym 3-4 times a week. You need to eat right. And all of a sudden, there's checkpoints on the way. After a month, you see the results. After 2, you see the results. After 3, you're probably there. It's a planned event. It's not surprise. And all of this starts with you having a very clear goal. It shouldn't be, whenever you're achieving your dreams, aspirations, and things that you really, really, really want, there is no way that you should just blink and all of a sudden an ultimatum moment happens and it occurs to you. No, it is a series of consistent events through making the right choices back to back to back that eventually result in success. So many people think success is significant choices. It's these ultimatum decisions that by the end of it result in millions of dollars, when in reality, it's the small, insignificant choices that you make every single day, developed through your disciplines and habits that end up creating and occurring success that you want by the end of it. Cristiano Ronaldo, he made something like $2 million. He became an overnight millionaire at the age of 17. So many people thought it was an overnight sensation, but the truth was it took him 17 years and 300 days of training in order to become an overnight success. And that's the truth. There's so much mundane aspects whenever it comes to success, whenever it comes to developing your fortune, whenever it comes to honing your craft and skills. Very much so, it's all about developing your character and skill set, and money is just a byproduct of having good set of those two. So the book basically talks about having clarity, knowing exactly what it is that you're looking towards achieving into the world, having a clear goal on the top of the mind so it can affect your subconscious and manifest it into the world. Bring your intention into your mind and heart and listen for what essence wishes for you. So many people talk about, okay, well, what is it that's my calling? What is it that I want to do? Well, I talk about basically understanding your natural talents. There are obviously going to be things you have a general strength for. Focus on those and build your life around it. I understand that every skill is something that's definitely learnable, but there are certain skills that you just pick up quicker than others based on your genetics, based on, well, in this terms, essence. So looking towards putting yourself out there, having a level of action towards whatever it is that you're looking towards doing, I definitely think you should try to figure out what it is that you pick up easily, and then naturally utilize your essence or whatever the universe wants for you in order to actively search and become a professional. If you want to make professional money, all you have to do is become a professional. That is so relevant today than any day before. Nowadays, you can pick up any skill. Any skill. Put it on YouTube and you can definitely make a solid income from it as long as you're interesting while presenting it. But that's just an extreme. There's so many different other ways that you can become a professional in any atmosphere, in any skill set, and look towards making an income out of it. So figure out what your natural talents are, whatever some things that come to you very naturally, something that's naturally satisfying, because good behavior is a good reward in itself. So, and then basically look towards creating a career out of that. And then no matter what, you look towards becoming successful. It's all about creating and finding that passion if you can. Now, if you're an individual who doesn't necessarily, I guess, go that way when it comes to work, well, figure out what it is that you want most out of life. Going back to that clear-cut goal, what is the results that you're looking for? Chances are there are so many different paths towards achieving it. It's just about picking the blueprint that's most effective for you, and then follow it through there. Next one is talking about karma. The book has a very much spiritual-orientated base. So, as we are, so we do. And as we do, so is it done to us. We are the builders of our own fortune. So essentially what the book's trying to say is that we have a self-fulfilling prophecy. Whatever it is that we give out into the world, we are put back. If you put out good, you'll have good in return. If you put out bad, that's what you're going to have in return. Now, I definitely agree that to some extent that is certainly true, undeniably, because your circumstances definitely dictate your future. And how it is that you respond to people, how it is that you put yourself out there, how it is that you are either like rude, incorrect, reflects the direct opportunities that are presented to you. If you're an individual that networks, if you're an individual that's pleasant to be around, if you're an individual that's very happy, inspiring others, of course people are naturally going to want to be around you. And generally speaking, that's not only necessarily orientated towards people who are unsuccessful. More often than not, it's successful people. Positive-minded attitudes, positive-minded thinking, they want to surround themselves with positive people. If you yourself put out to the world that you're a positive individual, you're an individual that's excitable, person that wants other people to be around, you'll be surrounded by other people like that. And with that comes opportunity. So in terms of a logical step-by-step breakdown of how that quote is 100% agreeable, yeah, your circumstances don't just occur, they occur because of your habits. And your habits appear because of your thoughts. So you decide the type of person that you want to become and then act accordingly. Write it out step by step. Do you want to be a person who people look up to? Do you want to be a person that inspires others? Great. Well, then it starts with the day-to-day. Now, this book has a heavy underlying point of the law of attraction, manifestation, and I 100% agree with it. I think that keeping on top of the mind what it is that you want to achieve most is by default going to help you achieve it. So first of all, going back to point one, having clarity of whatever your goal is. It talks about having manifestations, affirmations that you say to yourself every single day. You'd be more than surprised to see how many successful millionaires and successful people outside of the billions always look towards having affirmations that they say to themselves every day. Now, if you don't know what an affirmation is, you're saying it as if it's already done. It's already happened. It's already true. I am successful. The die has been cast. No matter what, I will achieve the goal that I have set out to achieve. You speak as if it's already happened. You're in present day achieving the success that you feel as if you're determined and destined to achieve. These are the affirmations that the book talks about. Now, it can be something as small as making sure that I believe in it's like my marriage is successful, to something as extreme as I am a millionaire. If you basically adopt this mindset, look towards achieving it every single day, let's break it down from a logical standpoint. If your conscious thoughts create your subconscious mind actively determines the habits and circumstances that you appear yourself in. I'll give you an example. I remember growing up in school, there were a few people who were obsessed with cars. Consciously, cars were always on their mind. Different types of models, different types of makes, but for example, it was a very common one. Right? It was something that wasn't too expensive, but it was definitely expensive for a bunch of teenagers. Now, these guys, they thought about it day in, day out, and eventually it affected their subconscious. Subconscious, they were actively making decisions to bring them closer to a circumstances where they could attain their car. Specifically, whenever they were offered work, they'd stay back. Whenever they were offered any cash on the side, they would take it. Why? Because they knew that it'd get them one step closer to the goal in which they were actively looking towards achieving. Eventually, their circumstances brought them to making enough money in order to make the conscious decision to buy the car. That is a specific example of affirmations. They spoke it into existence purely because they programmed their conscious mind to affect their subconscious mind, which developed their habits, which in turn developed their circumstances. So many people think that the world happens to you, when in reality, you create your own world, specifically through the thoughts that you manifest, not only into the universe, but also within your own life. I think that if you're an individual that thinks a lot about relationships, you're going to eventually end up in one. Your subconscious mind is going to put you in situations that give you the increased stacked odds of being in relationships. Those are the facts. I think that if you care a lot about business, if you care a lot about making money, your mind and subconscious mind is going to make choices and decisions accordingly to ensure that you're getting the thing that you want most. So understanding that logic, what is it that you want most? Go back to the step one, clarity of mind, the goal that you're searching for. What is the thing that you will not negotiate, that you will achieve? figure it out and make steps accordingly. Keep it on top of your mind. Speak it into existence. When I say speak it into existence, I mean say it out loud. The law of affirmation, manifestation, it's pretty much undeniably true. Look at any successful person and they believed that they were going to achieve the results that they did before it happened, long before it happened. So if you're not doing that yourself, you should certainly look towards adding it towards your daily routine, or at the very least doing it more often than not. Anyways guys, that's it for Quick Notes with Chris on The Universe is Calling You by Char Margolis. I highly suggest you don't stop there when it looks towards improvement. Keep putting yourself and striving for a better position to put yourself in success. I'll see you guys in the next one.